Here's a predictable pattern in Bartholomew Whitener household, financial management. Throughout the month, we collect all the bills that come in the mail each day and stuff them in a little compartment in a roll-top desk. With the exception of increasing numbers of automatic deposits and online payments, we gather together all the bills with amounts owed sometime around the 15th of the month. Most of the time, Tracy is the primary treasurer who writes out the bills, and we are co-controllers. With a few exceptions, now and then, we don't really owe anyone anything until that same time the next month. And it's not terribly complicated. And for the most part, there is some window of time each month when we can be at least slightly satisfied that nearly all owed amounts have been paid in full. St. Paul uses this analogy in reverse fashion to spell out what it means to live the Christian life. The RSV that we just read says this: "Owe no one anything except to love one another." The New International Version probably does a better job with translating the meaning of the original Greek. It says this: "Let no debt remain outstanding except the continuing debt to love one another." The bottom line here is that the Christian pattern of love is a constant debt to be paid out. The bottom line is that there really never is a bottom line. The Christian life is not so cut and dry like the monthly bill payment system in our household. I don't know about you, but my reaction to the arrival of Hurricane Harvey and the growing impact of Hurricane Irma is as follows: not again. Not another in a succession of billion-dollar catastrophes in our nation and the world this year so far. Not to mention the earthquake in Mexico, wildfires in the American West. There's some 40 counties in Montana on fire, monsoons in South Asia, and social tensions in places like Charlottesville, Virginia. It sets off a kind of anxious, grief-stricken chain reaction deep down in the gut. The first thing I did this morning was check my phone for texts from my sister and my parents in Florida. Lord, how much generosity do you think we have left in the tank? Where is the breather? Lord, how many demands of the neighbor, near and far, can we handle? Couldn't there be a break in our Christian pilgrimage every now and then to be able to say, I've paid my dues for a while? Psychologists call this attitude compassion fatigue. Theologians call it the deadly sin, acedia, which in the Latin means sloth or indifference. But then, good old Paul brings us back today to our basic calling as disciples of Jesus Christ. A life that reflects Christ's prior love and full paid debt for our salvation is a life of continuing debt to love one another. Love's messy claims are never fulfilled this side of the pearly gates. There will always be the loose ends of human need. Sometimes these needs are right under our nose, and sometimes they come near to us through computer screens and cell phones. Sometimes the neighbors can be taken care of quickly and crisply with a few meals and rides to doctor appointments. Sometimes the neighbors will have needs for a long, long time to come, and sometimes even the cries and needs of one family member 24/7 seem to be a constant debt to be paid. That's a part of what it means to be human. You see, brothers and sisters, God has no need for our good works of love for himself. We owe God nothing for the promise of salvation. We have been saved by grace through faith. Christ Jesus has already paid the full debt for our forgiveness, freedom, and new life on the cross, once and for all. God needs nothing for himself. Nothing. I like what the late Lutheran theologian Gerhard Furter has said about the matter. The question about hearing the full proclamation that everything has been done for our salvation is this. This is the question following that. What are you going to do now that you don't have to do anything for your salvation? God has given us everything. Eternal life, forgiveness of sins, hope in the midst of the mess of the world. God needs nothing, but our neighbors right now need everything. Today, our brothers and sisters in Texas, Louisiana, the Caribbean, Florida, and soon to be the southeastern states need everything. Our love, our prayers, our networking, our hands with the dirty and mucky jobs, and our financial resources. There is an abiding claim upon us all right now today. There is bill after bill after bill for us to help pay. Right now, there seems no end in sight. Our church, globally, nationally, and locally, has been placed in the role of the collective Good Samaritan, struggling to get the folks beaten by the wayside of life into the inn, promising to pay the bill, but not so sure what the final tab will be. The highest honor given to God is to care for and love our neighbor in need. Mother Teresa once said that the closest thing to the face of God on this earth is the face of another human being in need. Our calling is a messy, open-ended, loose-ended, but high calling today and every day. Let no debt remain outstanding except the continuing debt to love one another. Christian love can never say, I've paid my dues. Christian love can never say, I've shown love to 3 people today, I quit. Christian love can never say, I can't handle it anymore, because we all need each other to handle it together. The faithful life based on the prior steadfast love of God that walks with Christ in community and in love will never be cut and dry, enough done, bills paid for another month. Martin Luther sums up the matter as well as anyone. We are under obligation to this love commandment, not to extend a measure of help, but to serve that neighbor with all we have and all that we are. I guess it all boils down to the fact that we might as well get used to living lives with loose ends. God will give us grace to live day by day into what that love excelling looks like in our work clothes, in our checkbooks, and in our priorities. And God will be with us every step of the way. Thanks be to God.
Amen.